going on, everybody? Me again. Go figure, hey? You guys are probably getting pretty fucking sick of me. I mean, I wouldn't blame you, but that's too bad because I got a lot of time on my hands, so I'm going to utilize that shit. All right? But yeah, so with all these videos I've been posting, I've got a lot of, friends and family reaching out to me, and one particular topic that's been popping up quite a bit is maybe even doing my own podcast or something. So a friend of mine had reached out yesterday actually and mentioned, oh, have you ever think about doing a podcast about the industry? And hi Bryce, love you, homie. So it never really occurred to me, but people don't really or may not know this about me, but I have roughly 15 years of experience in the service industry, and yeah, that's both nightclubs, bars, catering events. I worked in Mexico, Vancouver, resorts, nightclubs on the beach, nightclubs in Vancouver, all that kind of shit. So I've seen quite a bit and done quite a bit in the industry, and I feel like I do have a little bit to offer. Another good friend of mine had me take this Gallup test, which essentially teaches you about your strengths. Hi Rishi, love you too, homie. And yeah, I learned quite a bit about myself, as well as I learned that the stars are all kind of aligning for me at this point. And I think that it's time for a major change. And one thing that I've always loved doing is telling stories. Ever since I was a kid, if you would ask me what I wanted to be when I was older, I didn't know, but all I knew is I wanted to make people laugh. I wanted to make people's days better. And so, yeah, I'm feeling like now's the time to be able to do that, or at least give it a shot. I am a screenwriter, and I'm continuing to pursue my screenwriting career, but I feel like all this kind of fun stuff on the side, doing videos and podcasts and shit, I think is kind of just goes hand in hand. So, so yeah, I think my buddy's right. It's time to kind of do something about the industry. The industry is a place that is has good side and a dark side. It's everything you want, but also everything you fucking hate. You see the fun side of humanity, but you also see the disgusting side of humanity. So this is going to be a podcast that's really going to be aimed towards those who want to get into the industry, those who are in the industry, and maybe shed some information, some light to some customers as well, just to maybe tighten things up on their end also, because there's a lot that goes on in the industry, and it's not all just the service industry or the servers and the bartenders and everything. So yeah, I feel like I got a lot of insight to shed and to share. So a lot of the topics I'll be covering, or the main topics I'll be covering, are kind of as follows. I'd like to get into some teaching people or helping people understand how to get into the industry and what we look for in the industry. As an employer, I've done roughly around 400 interviews in my day, and there's some specific things that I look for. I feel like those things that I've looked for really helped me build some amazing teams over the years, create that family team dynamic, which I think is what sets a successful bar apart from a shitty bar. The team and the quality of product are probably the two main things. Product being, the food and the drinks, but the food primarily, because the drinks, rum and Coke will taste the same anywhere, unless you're a cocktail bar, right? But so yeah, I'd like to go into some detail about how to interview properly, the things that we look for in an interview, or that I looked for in an interview. Some small, just quick topics. Eye contact is major. Show your personality. No one wants to fucking, interview some boring ass person, and you have to understand that what you project, how you perceive yourself in that interview is what we feel we're getting, or what the customers will be getting as a server. So you need to, when you're doing your interviews, you need to walk up to the interview table just like you would if you were walking up to a table. That personality needs to shine. Experience is key. A lot of people think that because they worked in the customer service industry that it's the same across the board. Let me tell you, it is not. Working in a quiet cafe where there's jazz music playing in the background and you're serving coffees and fucking salads is not the same as working in a nightclub or a busy neighborhood bar where it's packed elbow to elbow, you're fucking getting yelled at, money waved in your face, you're getting your ass grabbed, you're getting fucking fallen on, you're being puked on, you're being called a piece of shit, you're being treated like shit. Yeah, there's a lot of more. You need to be sure you're understanding where you're applying and where your experience comes into where that location that you're applying to, if it even matches with your experience in any way, shape, or form. Personality is key. Obviously, there's different types of personalities, and there's a lot that work in the industry. The one personality that's not going to work in the industry is the asshole personality, the person who thinks that their shit don't stink and that they're the be-all end-all of that bar, and that's truly unfortunate. But there's people like that who exist, and they still exist, and they need to understand that there is no I in team, which is cheesy to say, but it's true. The only bars that truly succeed are the ones who understand family dynamic and team dynamic. And if you're not a part of that family or team, let me tell you, my friend, you're going to get sniffed out pretty quick. Also, you have to understand that you need to have tough skin. A lot of people think that it's easy to pour drinks and run food to a table and blah, blah, blah. You're right. It is easy. But is it easy to do that while being called a piece of shit, while getting your ass slapped, while being treated like you're scum? Because let me tell you, there's a lot of people out there who have a bad day and they come to the bar, and sometimes they come to that bar particularly to take out their bad day on the staff. And you might all sitting there thinking, yeah, right. Trust me, it happens. And all the way into fucking Mexico, when people are on vacation, they still treat you like scum. Just because the word serve is in the name server, it does not mean that you're a fucking servant. So you deserve to be treated with respect, and I'll teach you how to command that respect as well as how to have that tough skin. Also, positive attitude is major. You could see it on people's faces when you're in the weeds. We call it the weeds, busy time. When you're busy, you can see it on people's faces. They're just fucking panic mode. So you need to understand how to have a smile on your face while you do this. That smile is going to go a long way, because when people see fear or see you panicking, it's just a very piss poor experience for the customer. So I'll teach you how to have some positive attitudes along the way as well. One thing that's fucking major in this industry, and we all know it, is sexual harassment. I think the first thing we need to understand is that people need to be honest with themselves when they're being sexually harassed. There is no, oh, he's just being nice, or oh, he's just drunk, oh, blah, blah, blah. No. Sexual harassment is relatively cut and dry. And if you're allowing sexual harassment to continue to take place, all you're doing is setting up the next person to be sexually harassed. All you're doing is training and teaching the customer or the coworker who's sexually harassing people that it's okay to do that. And there's going to be somebody else who's going to be the next victim. And that next victim may not be strong or the warrior type enough to be able to push somebody away. And next thing you know, they become a victim. So that's not okay. And you need to understand that it's not okay. You need to understand that you need to speak out. There, in no way, shape, or form is it okay to keep that shit quiet. Again, all you're doing is fucking over the next person. And, again, just understanding that those scenarios don't need to take place in the workplace. Understanding that if that's taking place and you're worried about your job, is that truly a place you want to work anyways? I know sometimes the, industry can be tough, and there are some slow times in the industry. For instance, those January, February moments, as well as sometimes in the summertime, they get a little slow if you don't have a patio. You got to understand that, you may come across a little bit of unemployment, but at least you're going to be finding yourself not being sexually harassed and working in an environment that you feel safe in. So make sure that that's top priority for you. Another couple things that I really want to teach people is to understand labor laws. I talked about this in my last YouTube video when it comes to, things you should have learned in high school. And I truly believe they should teach it at that early stage. But as a grown-ass fucking adult, you should understand the ins and outs of the labor laws. It's not okay to be, forced to work doubles and triples and all this other shit. It's not okay to be working like long hours. But, and there is a but, with that being said, you have to understand that it's not okay to voluntarily do this, to go about and pick up shifts and beg for more hours. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll do whatever it takes, And then next thing you know, you get shit canned or quit, and then you start demanding money. Like, oh, OT, I worked all this extra time. Fuck you. You brought it on yourself by asking for more shifts, and by doing this, you cannot turn around and then try and out the bar or out that particular fucking company because they didn't pay me overtime. Well, guess what? No one pays overtime in that industry. It sucks, but it's an unwritten rule. So, and now again, I'm not saying it's okay, but if you are not okay with it, then again, understand your fucking rights. Another major topic, and probably this one will probably be a little bit longer of an episode, but the dark side of the industry. And there is a dark side outside of sexual harassment. There is a dark side outside of being treated like shit. And that dark side is drug abuse, alcoholism, and mental health issues. A lot of these issues stem from this industry, and it's truly unfortunate, but they all come into play, you know? You go to work and you stress out, and it's a stressful day because customers are treating you like shit. So how do you unwind? Well, you unwind by a couple cold ones. Next thing you know, you're fucking 8 beers deep. Okay, well, I want to go out and party now. Okay, well, now you're going out to your buddy's house and do a couple lines of coke, or fucking, you know, popping pills and going to after-hour parties. Unfortunately, that was part of my experience, and yeah, it does stem and lead to mental health issues. So they all kind of come into play. So I really want to. That is one topic that I really want to discuss, and I take very fucking seriously. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think that this podcast, I think I'm gonna call it like last call service or industry insights or some shit. But I truly believe that this will help benefit everybody, from people who are wanting to get into the industry to people who are in the industry to owners and managers and supervisors and all that stuff. I thought about starting my own consultancy company, being like the John Taffer of Canada. Wink. But we'll see. But yeah, I truly believe that this is a great opportunity for, you know, owners. Reach out to me, ask me questions. I've seen some shit. I've done some shit. I truly believe that I have answers to those really tough questions. If it is even just leading you or pointing you in the right direction, I would love to do that. So in my fight to kind of better the industry and to better people's lives and to make people happy and feel comfortable and all that other stuff in the workplace, this is the step I'm going to take. So stay tuned. I'm really looking forward to it. Probably going to get started next week. I got some equipment coming. And so, yeah, Bryce and Rishi, love you guys. Thanks for the nudge in the right direction. And I look forward to seeing you all again soon. All right. Peace, y'all.